All right. So, what do I think of the new YouTube policy that will come in effect February 2027? I think it's a really bad policy. In fact, majority of small content creator and the new ones that want to get into this platform will have a very, very hard time. To me, it sounds almost impossible. So let's talk about it right now. All right, so you're new to YouTube channels for creating content so you can get paid for it. Well, now YouTube, starting in February 2027, is going to change all that. In fact, will double your effort. Okay, so from 4,000 watch hour per year to 8,000 watch hour per year. 4,000 hours per year is already quite hard. To make it 8,000, it sounds like a much steeper hill or mountain to climb. For myself, even getting the 4,000 hour watch time per year is already quite hard. I would have to be consistent in making YouTube videos at least once or twice a week. All right. And you have to have a niche. So basically, you want to create content that you believe there are a certain group of people who like to watch it and watch it consistently. So that's the strategy. Now, from the perspective of new YouTuber content creator, this will be a problem because they would have to really spend the time and effort to create content that is tailored towards a special niche, and they would have to do it consistently. And that would be, quite hard because it would take them twice as long to do this. I would say 8,000 watch hours, you would have to make one video per week minimum. And it has to be very, very content based, enriched with a lot of information that's unique, and people are drawn towards it. And that's hard to do when you're doing that consistently for weeks and weeks. And I'm talking about at least 6 months to a year. On average, most likely almost 2 years. Unless, of course, with a stroke of luck, you might be able to achieve it. Now, that's not just creating long content. The short content, the shorts, for example, is now increased to 20 million. Okay, 20 million view the shorts in 90 days if you want to join the partnership program, right? So for their long form content from 4,000 watch hour to 8,000, from the shorts from 10 million to 20 million in order to qualify to be in a partnership program. To maintain that paid watch hours for shorts, you have to get minimum of 10 million view in 90 days. That is crazy because for me, even 10,000 per month is already hard, right, for my shorts. And actually, for me, using shorts are just meant to bring people in for my long form content. So, yeah, I don't really depend on the short that much. I don't make shorts, but long form I do focus on because I like to talk and I like to engage audience with information, not just like highlights, right? So this is important to me that moving forward, the shorts doesn't really affect me that much. The long form is the one that I'm going to focus my attention on. And I do like to do a lot of things on my channel, as you know, is EducateTube. So it's a very broad type of information, knowledge, education. And depending on my mood, I will focus on cameras. I'll focus on, making fire starters or batteries. Those are things that I really enjoy doing, or looking at nature and so on. Like these are things that I enjoy and I want to bring you along with me. So my strategy is this. I know this is going to be hard for most people who are starting out and would like to join the partnership program. And it's not impossible, but it is much more difficult. However, I want you to see YouTube now as a different form of making revenue. The AdSense itself does not generate all, should not anyway, generate all your income. In fact, I would say use YouTube as a way to draw people to your website. So create a website where that is your main content, and you create a link or embedded videos from YouTube and redirect that to your website. So your website is your main content. YouTube is just a way to send them there. Okay, so that's, I would say, one of the strategy. Number two, and make sure you brand it. So in other words, make sure that when you're doing YouTube and you're really serious about it, create a brand unique to your company or to yourself, right? And that will stand out. So even, let's say one day YouTube doesn't exist anymore, your brand will still exist. So make sure you create a brand for yourself, whatever you're doing. Like I mentioned before, don't depend on AdSense. Try to create something to engage your audience with, or something that they're interested in. Whether you create something like a kit or some kind of tools or some kind of learning opportunities. And it's, of course, has to be worthwhile. Like just think of yourself. Would you buy that tools? Would you buy that object? Would you buy that learning kit? Whatever it is, if you say yes to it, I'm pretty sure your audience who watch your video consistently will also do the same. So I want to create some physical or some kind of knowledge-based content that people will buy and it's worth their time and money. And one last thing, think of YouTube as a storage for your videos. So let's say you're not interested in become part of YouTube partnership because it was very difficult. What you could do, of course, YouTube could be just a placeholder for your videos, right? For your family videos, for, you know, something that will direct your clients to that video. They can watch it and you don't have to pay for, let's say, storage fee, right? So for example, if you have it on Google or Microsoft cloud computing, they will charge you if it reaches a certain amount of gigabytes, right? With YouTube, the video itself, you can upload it and store it there and then embed your video on your website. And so you can use that. Or if it's a family videos, again, it's free. Okay. Now, Facebook are competing with that area as well. So you can also use Facebook to do that, and Rumble. There's many other websites as well, but YouTube is very popular. So this is why it is a platform. So think of YouTube as a way to storage your media. So that's another way. I know it's sad that this implementation that YouTube's making. So if you're not in the program already, this is my advice to you. Okay, get it going. If you really want to get into the partnership program, from now until February, you need to create your video content consistently. I would say 2 video a week, and make sure it's a niche type of content, something that you believe maybe 10,000 people will be really interested in because you have this unique skills, unique information you want to tell them, or some kind of thing you do that people are really interested in. And do that for the first, you know, I would say, let's see now, about the next 4 or 5 months, do maybe 2 or 3 per week and do that right through. And what you want to do is you want to create a drive that will bring people in, and hopefully, you can reach that 4,000 watch hour. I know it seems like an impossible task, half a year, 4,000 watch hours. And then you have to wait for the partnership program to get approved of that. I don't know how long that will be, right? So once you reach that 4,000, would they actually get you into the program right away? Now, for those people who are already halfway there, like say you have 3,000 watch hours, right? And you need that extra 1,000 hour, work harder, get more of those good content video in there. Okay, so that's my advice. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a little heart of appreciation. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.